After acquiring 4 traces of night and unlocking the final Night Lord, you first step into this arena and you're greeted by not another beast or creature, not another dragon, but a man this time. I knew we were in for a good story, and so I couldn't wait to get my hands on his Night Lord relic. And I'll admit, it shocked me first time I read it how little it seems to tell about his story. And when you read it, it says, "The knight belonging to Heolstor left upon its defeat. The country lay in ruin. The man who once was a knight had challenged the hero, but he too was no match. He fell, just another body in a great pile. But eventually he awoke, crawling out from underneath the others, though he had failed to protect anything or anyone he yet lived. And so he cursed the world. It was the dead of night, and from the sky poured down a great rain." It really doesn't tell you much, except the basics of, a man who lost everything and therefore cursed the world. But what really struck me there and had me thinking back to the base game of Elden Ring is that line about down poured a great rain, and my first thought when I heard that was, oh, well, the Weeping Peninsula, Castle Morne. And if you go there, there is some sort of monument. And this is a working theory. I feel about 80% confident in this, but don't take it to the bank just yet. But when you go there and you look at the stone sword right outside Castle Morne, it says, "The siege of Castle Morne, a lone hero fights for his vengeance, only to fall at the hand of Lord Godfrey." So we have a lone hero, a last survivor, fighting it off, holding a duel essentially with Godfrey, where he eventually falls. Now this sounds an awful lot to me like a knight challenging a hero, but he too being no match. And I like it. It kind of fits a little bit, but I don't know. Is Godfrey? Is he ever really referred to as a hero? I don't know. I wasn't really too sure of it, so I kind of just left this sitting in the back of my mind, didn't think much of it, and just assumed that, well, maybe we'll get something down the road that'll give us a little more information. But whether or not this guy was from Morne or somewhere else, it really didn't matter. But as I was playing through some base Elden Ring and I was reading some item descriptions, I don't know why I didn't do it before, but I finally looked at the grafted swords description, and I think it kind of fits the rest of the picture here. So it says, "The storied sword of Castle Morne, a revenger's weapon, it is burdened with oceans of anger and regret. A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors." Now, a lone surviving champion from a country now vanished. Now, where have I heard words like that before? Oh yeah, the country lay in ruin. And as I went through other item descriptions and I'm looking and thinking of things, there's not another description, unless I just missed it, that even mentions a country at all. The lands between itself, Lindell and the Erd Tree, they're never referred to as a country. They're always referred to as lands or just the Golden Order, because they encompass all at this point in time. There are no other countries, therefore, why specify? And some of the wording, the dead of night for Skyport a great rain, and cursing the world, and then the grafted sword, how it says, burdened with oceans of anger and regret. I feel like this is a pretty good, not exactly one-to-one, but I feel like it's an 80-20 thing, where I'm fairly confident after reading the grafted sword description and pairing it with the Morne stone sword that Heolstor, or the man who became Heolstor, the primordial Night Lord, was this last survivor of this country that made a last stand at Castle Morne only to be felled by Godfrey. And now there's, how do you put this? There's the question, right, of, well, how did Godfrey just not know he killed this guy? Like, how could this guy be another body in a great pile, but eventually wake and crawl out from underneath it? Well, I think there's a little break in our thinking on this. I don't think it was that, oh, he just really wasn't dead and got trapped under a body of corpse or a pile of corpses and crawled his way out. I think he really and truly died, and what I think we have to thank for his resurrection is everybody's favorite buddy old pal, this handsome devil right here, the Prince of Death. Because when you looked at Heolstor's boss fight and you see the way he and the Aspect of Night move and their weaknesses and the way they do that little blinky teleport thing, like what we see the Cemetery Shade and the Mausoleum Knights and the spectral forms of the Banished Knights all do, and they're all those who live in death. So I think that's what Heolstor is. I think we have the Knight of Black Knives essentially to thank for the Knight even becoming a thing at all, or at least Heolstor's Knight coming to fruition. But anyway, that's my working theory on it. I feel about 80% confident in it. I think it makes sense and it kind of toes the basic lines. But I mean, if you got something else, or if you got another item description I missed out on that has a better idea, or if you just think I'm way off base and you got a better theory, just hop in the comments, let me know. But I feel like that kind of explains it, and it satisfies me that Heolstor is very likely the lone survivor from Castle Morne, and I think it fits with the concept of the night, forming in a rain. Because what does the Weeping Peninsula do all the time? It rains. But anyway, those are my thoughts. That's my theory. Just, let me know if you got any of your own, and stay safe out there, fellow Nightfarers.